Sounded like Kavanaugh, the Southern champ, when I said that.
I don't
Shout
know
out to my uncle Bobby Lucas, Smokers Lounge.
Oh, yeah. My episode comes out next week.
Hell yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I got to really speak freely with it, which was pretty
beautiful.
Dope. Hopefully it doesn't
Woo
bite me.
Huzzah Chef. Join the Instagram.
I don't even see you.
It's there.
There it is. Oh,
hello.
There it is.
Whoop, there it is. Wow. Dating ourselves. How's it going? It's going well. Appreciate you being here. And my co-host is now on the Instagram chat. I'm going to kick this off the beatbox way. We're going to make sure this is turned down so you don't hear me double. Foxy Box declined. What's up with that?
I turned the volume down on here. I think I fucked up.
Okay. Leave and come back.
I can't hear you, Dylan.
Yeah, leave Instagram and come right back.
Insta is not Insta-ing.
Okay. So if I can invite you to join with 2 X's. There you go. Hey, Infinity. And
Hello.
there she is.
Woo.
2 Foxies. All right. Let's kick it off. It is Wednesday. Welcome to Beatbox. This is your favorite show on new music and mental health. If you don't already know, I'm Thickness Pro Palm. Some call me Dylan.
And I'm thick and I'm Foxy.
We're back. Well, it's a countdown to somebody's birthday this Friday.
Yeah, Friday. I'll be 21.
Oh, shit. Pour up some shots.
Yeah, just kidding. I'm going to be 34 because I'm a big fat MILF.
Hey, there you go. Better with age. No shots. You've moved on to, well, you don't even drink like that, but I would say you moved on to wine. But
ew, if I drank, I definitely wouldn't drink wine.
Okay, as a recovering person who used to struggle with addiction, what is your celebration beverage?
Oh, like when I drink, what did I drink?
No, not like if you just want to have oh yeah, you said it was a Red Bull. Like, what are you gonna drink on Friday with your birthday?
I mean, if I was going to a bar, I'd just drink Red Bull with flavoring.
Okay.
I'm so I'm not excited when it comes to that. When I did drink though, I would take Spider Bites and drink vodka cranberry with extra cranberry.
Hey now.
A Spider Bite is that blue tarantula tequila liqueur with the fucking tarantula on it. You never seen that with Red Bull?
That sounds really good.
It is really good, and it would get me really drunk and get me into fights, and also
that's not good at all.
Fights and fucks. That's pretty much what that results in. So anyway. Hey guys, we're getting real today on.
Hey guys, yeah, as if we don't get real every Wednesday at 7, starting last week. This is our second time at our
last week. We've only been real 1 of 15 weeks. Yeah. Fuck
they moved to Wednesday and they think they own the place.
I like this Wednesday flow.
All right, well, we want to start off this episode as we do every episode with our mental health topic of the week. This one is, does a routine help or hurt you? And the first of all, I want to say is the routine must be healthy. And for me, it's just I started a new job on August 21st. This is my 3rd week there. And it's kind of across town. It's so I'm now commuting and I'm realizing, fuck man, after, I drive way into LA and get back, and for those of you who live out here or have spent time out here, you know how notorious our traffic is. But when I get home, it's wow, I'm too tired to really do anything. I'm just taking naps. So it's I'm definitely not making the gym. So now my routine is, and then I'm balancing, trying to make this happen, trying to make this content thing happen and this podcast thing happen and doing what the ladies would consider customs. But I'm, doing orders for artists and getting sponsorships for the podcast, moving and grooving, trying to make all that happen. When am I going to take care of my physical activity? When I'm going to take care of this messy room, So the routine must be healthy. So now I'm finding, okay, if I wake up at 5 and go to the gym, but by 9 o'clock I'm in bed, not necessarily asleep, I can function. I can make that. But even when I'm in up at 5 because the gym opens at 5, I'm still not out the fucking door by 5:40. I don't know why, but this is only day 2 of this. So routine is helping me as long as there's healthy habits within it that are productive. Foxy, what is your routine, and do you notice healthy habits from that?
So sometimes I just go like this. No, have I ever shown you I can do that?
Do that again.
Watch this, guys.
Hey, you look like you're doing the sprinkler from the.
Okay, so
give it up for the titties, y'all.
Aside
Go
from that
girls.
routine,
yeah.
So besides from that, fuck no, I can't do a routine because I have fucking ADHD and I can't take the meds. So if I try to have a routine, I spiral and I don't do anything. That's what I deal with. So I just try to make lists.
I find that I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I know I probably have it to some extent. And I'm more of the I can program myself to do anything belief. So for me, anything's possible. But go on.
The way you just said that felt so condescending. Go on.
Oops.
So
I didn't want to interrupt you.
So for me though, here's the thing: is okay. So I've been doing therapy this past year, hitting it hard, because shit's been really tumultuous in my life.
Yes.
And so I'm okay, I need to find peace throughout this bullshit, right?
Right.
So I was doing a lot of therapy, and meanwhile, being okay, I'm gonna take my meds. Taking my meds, spiraling because I'm on a fucking stimulant and I'm an addict. I take an Adderall and I'm let's fucking throw our life away. Yeah, so it's I can't do it. And the meds, they help, but it's the euphoric that I get from it, the euphoria. I'm okay, we can get down with this. We like this. But that's why I smoked cocaine for fucking 5 years, So.
Hey, Zuri.
What?
I was just acknowledging one of the protectors in this live.
Oh, hello, protector.
Yes. Zuri love, everybody.
So yeah, so basically, for me, it's I had to figure out how I was gonna cope without a med. And so I just started writing lists and stuff. And that really helps. But I noticed that when I'd be I need to get up and I need to be out of my bed and showered by 11 o'clock every day. To somebody that works a job where they go to somewhere, that doesn't feel like it should be anything big. But for me, being unmedicated, and having the world on my fucking shoulders, building an empire out of myself, I'm trying to build big. I'm doing this for the fucking length of it, not for a short while. I'm going, this is my life. And so it's trying to have all of that weight on my shoulders, and then just the thought of having to be up at a certain time when I feel so tired because I stayed up until 3 a.m. I didn't expect to, but I was up until 3 because I had this custom I had to edit down. I had this, this client that hit me up at, 12:30 at night, and they wanted to spend some money, and I needed the money. So I stayed up and I chatted with them. Things like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unexpected with it. So when I put that expectation of just getting up and being showered by 11, I would spiral. And then I'd be well, that's done. My whole day's done. Fuck it. And then I'm paralyzed. And that's what they call executive dysfunction. So if you ever hear that term, that's kind of the shit that they're talking about,
Executive dysfunction. I actually have not heard that term. I love learning.
Oh, you'll hear it. You'll hear it now that I said it.
Here on Beatbox, yeah.
It's if I had a white slug bug and then I'd start seeing them all the time, right? The Matrix. So
Nikki Cakes, hey, how you doing?
So so basically though, I find that for me as the way that I am wired, if I just write down my goals. I mean, you guys, I think if you've been watching us for 15 weeks, you know that I keep notes. And I'm on my second notebook. Actually, last week I finished my first notebook that I started when I started back at this in March. Isn't that crazy? A whole notebook.
Yeah, and you're very organized when it comes to it. I think now that I am back working a full-time job, that's, I've had no choice but to, develop somewhat of a routine. And back when I was only working part-time and then working 2 part-times that kind of felt like only one part-time anyway, it was, a little more chaotic. But now it's okay, now I'm starting to make the adjustment. Now I'm starting to know when and where I can do content.
Right.
You know.
Right. And that's, I think, more than anything, more than routine, just adapting.
Yeah, and I think
adapting.
I'm missing out on like the more spur of the moment, hyper short form posts.
Right.
That, so I definitely want to like, get on that type of he steps out to the bathroom real quick just to make a 2-minute, 1-minute TikTok. And Matt said, I know having added hard, take ADHD medicine, kid made sad, happy same time. Wasn't sorry, Matt. I didn't want to make you sound crazy, but time wasn't fun learning. Take notes helps. Make lists helps for me focus more.
Caveman.
Good, bro. That's good.
No,
yeah,
it's
making lists.
For real. It's seriously like it's so important to just find what works for you. And that's like, mental health and like treatment, therapy, medication. It's a big spectrum. Like, it is not a one size fits all thing. And I think that is something that we have consistently, come to the conclusion during our mental health check-ins, things like that. It's not a one size fits all.
No, it isn't.
Oh, look, Kirk Butterfield's here.
Adapting Colorado 2009. Kirk be speaking in code, man. Like sometimes his comments are just like, yeah, you can't tell if he's sneak dissing you or he's like, is he rapping like Aesop Rock in here? Like,
I do know. Listen. Yeah, Kirk Butterfield.
Shout out to him. He's a palm reader. We rock with you.
You said he's a palm reader? Is that?
Oh yeah, he's a palm reader. Yeah, that's the thing.
Like a
there's. Reader? Oh, we got to put up. This needs to be a post.
Wait, no, I'm confused. Don't wait. Pause. Is he an actual palm reader, or is that like a term in the Palmiverse?
That's a term in the Palmverse.
Okay, well, I want to do like some shit with that because I do like palm reading and tarot and all that shit. Yeah. Like,
see, we don't use the word fan around here. We're supporters, and we wear our titles with pride. So that's what. Right. If you're palm tree, that means you're part of the family, and you probably make music, you might produce, you might have a clothing line, you might be an entrepreneur or a creative, but you fucking with me. And then if you're a protector, that means you either watch the podcast, you've appeared on the podcast, or you're a view, you're hip to the podcast, so you're a protector.
Shouldn't you be calling it a Palmcast?
Palmcast was the first show before Thickness Protection Program started.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you told me that. I knew that.
Yes, you. Shout out to see, we're building an empire. I've always just been a fan of things with cult followings, so that's what cults. That's all about. Yeah, we like cults. Join our cult.
Yeah. Cults from 90 Day Fiance.
Cults from Indianapolis.
Cult from the pasture down the street.
Cult of personality.
Okay, so anyway, God, we are like increasingly become more unhinged every week.
Oh yeah,
Should we get our shit together?
Or we could just be silly for the next 45 minutes.
Fuck the agenda.
Fuck these silly.
All right,
cracking jokes.
So we got lots of fucking news.
Lots of news.
You guys want to talk about Drake? Drizzy, Jimmy from Degrassi.
All right, Wheelchair Charlie. Well, apparently, so he's been playing a lot of shows lately. He keeps getting bras thrown at him, and apparently he's been keeping all these bras, and he's made a collection, and his collection now outnumbers 2 Chainz' collection. 2 Chainz, who's formerly known as Titty Boy.
As a titty girl, I just love all this. And it makes me
as a titty man, I am fully supporting this.
It makes me want to go to a Drake show just to throw one of my big ass bras on the stage because that man his mind was blown with 34 Triple G. Like, dude.
So do they bring in a separate bra, or do they take off the one they're wearing?
Probably take it off and throw it. Yeah. Like, haven't you seen like old
old concerts? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one with Will Smith getting panties thrown at him.
Who the fuck's throwing their panties at Will Smith?
Not Jada Pinkett.
Oh, I'm deceased. Holy shit. Okay. So anyway, enough about the titty boy portion. Let's talk about this interview that people are really like thinking
it's
Drake
polarizing.
Yeah, Drake definitely, like, tell me what you know about, like, the interview.
Okay, what I know is that it was an hour-long podcast episode with this host named Bobbi Althoff. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. But she kind of popped out of nowhere. Apparently, she had a huge following on TikTok, like in the millions. Then she was able to get these interviews with rappers. She had aside from Drake, she had Lil Yachty, Tyga. She had one with Funny Marco, and her style is very interesting because hey, Destiny, her style is very interesting because she'll sit up there and like have this almost trolling conversation where she'll like de-celebrity the guest to the point where it's just like she's asking them these quirky, odd questions, and it's like almost like a first date gone wrong.
I need to watch because I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what my interview style might kind of be like.
Yeah, it's very it's for the stars who are so known and so well renowned for what they do that you're not tuning in to get new information about the artist. It's almost like in the sense of Nardwuar knowing the facts about them so much that he throws the guest off. But with her, it's like she's so awkward that she throws him off. But evidently, there were some DMs exchanged. She's married, by the way. She's married to a Jewish man, and ever they found DMs of them going back and forth. There's speculation that they might have had sex, and they've unfollowed each other since. The interview was pulled down. It was uploaded by another channel, and basically, there's this whole controversy of if she's an industry plant or not because some more evidence circulated that her agent might work for Drake's record label, and that's how they hooked that up in the first place. So it's kind of convoluted, and it goes round and round like a merry-go-round, to quote E40. But Huggy Does It says she's deadpan as fuck. Seems like she's not having a good time on purpose.
So she's like a dry humor then?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. She's very much a dry humor.
My first question is, how big are her titties, and do you think Drake has her bra? Just kidding. So
they're not as big as yours, Foxy. You win this round.
Kitty trying to fuck with the program.
Okay. Kitty's trying to get down with the thickness.
She is down with the thickness. So they are also now saying, as of today, and why we're talking so much about Drake is because this motherfucker's in the headlines like thick this week. So yes. It was like 5 of the stories on like Hip Hop DX, which is where I like get a lot of my stories from.
Shout out to Hip Hop DX. I learned a lot of game there that summer that I interned for them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's really wonderful that we use them as one of our sources.
I've definitely told you that before. Source. But yeah, shout out to everybody over there.
Well, I was probably smoking an extra pot that day, Dylan.
Hey now, say now, smoke, okay. Roll it.
Okay, so anyway, they're saying now that so basically, like the interview got pulled off of YouTube and like social media, and essentially what the rumor is that he had played Rack City by Tyga in the background. And basically like the same people that like he's like working with like own the rights to that, and then they came after the podcast and fucking basically wanted all of the money for it, and so the podcast said nope, fuck this, we're not playing along, and they pulled it. So yeah, some real
So the record label tried to get the rights to the podcast?
Something like that, yeah, because the music was in the background and it was to a point where they couldn't like,
edit it out.
Huh.
It's a sticky situation, but like, the fact that she was able to like get Drake there, that she sat there, hey Thickabell. Everybody go follow Thickabell.
Do you think that like Titty Boy Drake, this is like his villain era?
I think he's been in this villain era for a couple of years, and this kind of dates back to maybe 2019.
Do you think it's because everybody would be like, Drake's like the type of guy to shut the refrigerator door with his hip, like that kind of shit? So he was like,
No. I think what like, when we talk about the art of podcasting, it's about seeing two people who have a contrast to one another come together on one accord. And at first I didn't like Bobby. I have a problem with certain people being allowed in certain spaces and then being popular in them. And maybe this is just me sounding like a jaded ass, struggling host myself. But yeah, you know what? At first, I didn't care for Bobbi. I didn't care for her style at all. But just watching, the 10, 15 minutes that I was able to catch in that interview, and I'm gonna do the whole finish the whole thing. I appreciated her for her comedic style.
Right.
Because it's like I may not get it, but it speaks to that awkward teenage
comedy
angst.
Is everybody has a different sense of humor, and
yes.
you can appreciate as a comedian somebody else's
exactly. Exactly. But did they have sex? I don't know, but maybe, possibly.
Well, who cares? It's Drake. I don't know. I would never fuck Drake.
Oh, never. I was about to say, ladies, in the comments, would you smash Drake?
Smash burger.
Would you smash Drake? Okay.
Fountain of Goo. What are you talking about, Kirk?
Yeah, Kirk speaks in Kirkanese.
Kirk
speaks Kirkanese.
Kirkanese.
Kirk speaks Kirkanese. That's got to be a new thing in the Palmverse.
Just Kirk, like
you might have your own t-shirts.
Kirk merch.
Kirk speaks Kirkanese. Yeah.
Just like pencils that say that.
Yeah, Kirk speaks Kirkanese.
Oh God.
Oh, have you seen Good Burger?
That's like my favorite movie.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies too.
Shut up.
You mess with Kurt and you go on the grinder.
You go on the grinder.
Bones made a song like that called that. You mess with Kurt and you go on the grinder.
I love that fucking movie so much, dude.
Yeah.
I've like watched it throughout my whole entire life. Like I've watched Good Burger.
No, a lot of people in the porn industry got you mess with Kurt and you go in the grinder energy.
fucking douchey and sinister at the same time.
Exactly. Like, you mess with Kurt and you go in the grinder.
That's definitely like just like Giga Chad energy.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, it was very frat boyish.
Fuck, like oh my God, you remember like the like visors that would have like the fake like spiky blonde hair like on top of them?
Yeah, the frosted tips.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, white people were so much cooler in the 90s.
With frosted tips. I rocked with that shit. Any guy that had that, I was like, oh yeah.
The ramp tramp was feeling him.
The ramp tramp.
Oh yeah. What with the element t-shirt and the baggy cargo pants? What with some Osiris's? Oh my God! What?
You listen to CKY? I'm gonna open my CK legs. No, I don't know why I said that. God, I hate that.
You listen to Vertical Horizon?
What?
You listen to Lifehouse?
Cowabunga.
Whoa.
Okay.
You listen to Bare Naked Ladies? Okay. Well,
okay, I'm done with
Back to this game, which we never left. Rest in peace, Simple the P.
We're not even done talking about fucking Drake yet, so chill.
Yeah.
Chill, Dill.
So, the next thing, Drake and The Weeknd are nominated for a Grammy, but for the song AI made for them. What do we know about this, Foxy?
Well, what I do know is I'm pretty sure our second episode of Beatbox, we covered that song.
We sure did.
It's actually on the Beatbox playlist. Shameless first plug of the episode for the Beatbox playlist. It's in my links. You could even play it from the links. Turn it on like you're taking a bath. You don't let you too fucking hip to be square. Get with the times, oldie. Listen to some good music.
So the Grammy nomination.
This fucking AI generated song is submitted for Grammy, 2 different Grammy nominations. And they're like in through kind of like a loophole kind of deal. But like it brings up several thoughts in my head. The first thought is why are we participating in this shit and giving it enough streams that it's like that relevant? It's like if we poured that kind of energy into like artists that actually were like doing like good work, like God, we could put on so much better things than AI.
And Huggy Does It says, I think the guy who made the AI song is up for a Grammy. I'd care if Drake and The Weeknd are too.
They're not.
No, it's the guy.
It's like a producer kind of Grammy. I can't remember. It's 2 different Grammys.
I still kind of feel like that's cheating.
No, it's fucking bullshit.
Bullshit. Look, you don't deserve. AI deserves nothing in the Grammys. That's taking away from the industry. Let AI have the Robies, the Robot Awards. Let them.
The Robies. That feels like an episode of fucking Futurama, dude.
Yeah, or an episode of Love, Death, and Robots.
I've not watched that.
Oh, it's awesome on Netflix.
I have a hard time paying attention.
It's about it. Well, you'll love these. They're animated. They're sci-fi animated shorts. They're all from different studios, and they're all R-rated.
Gotcha. I am a sucker for some adult animation.
Hey now.
I've been working through the Boondocks again, and
nice. On Max.
Okay. Here's my question. I was like, a white woman consuming this shit. Am I supposed to not consume this? Like, I feel like it's not for me.
You can enjoy it. You just can't repeat everything you hear on it.
Right. I mean, but like back when we were kids, everybody was definitely quoting that shit. Like, it's so weird. How much,
you gay.
It's weird how much like everything has like changed. Like, it went from like cultural like appreciation to like a cultural like appropriation so fast. And I think that there's a lot of people that have been victims of like cancel culture and stuff just because of like them being relevant during that time. Like Kendra Wilkinson. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
From the Girls Next Door.
I thought that was the trans spokesperson for Bud Light.
No. But she'd be like ghostwriting the whip and shit. Like on Girls Next Door.
I mean, I came along in the Krayshawn Mac Miller era.
Yeah.
You know, in the Lil B era, and you know, I grew up on Living Legend, so I kind of saw that advent of the internet where multiculturalism was embraced by hip hop, and then all of this, you know, the cancel culture era in the Trump era, kind of, you know, we went backwards, and I think in us going backwards, people you know, white people will always love hip hop and always support hip hop and always, you know, support anything in popular culture comes from Black culture. But I think that, you know, someone outwardly embracing it, like, you know, no, put it this way, 10, 15 years ago, I would have not even batted an eye to a white person wearing an NWA t-shirt. Oh, you listen to Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
You know, but now I'm like, take that fucking shit off.
Right. And it's like that kind of thing, you know, that kind of mindset, which is good in it. But it was like Trump and the far right were so bad that it was like people had to like amp it up on the other side to like make a point. And it just like really did take us back. But of course, it's not really my place to speak on something like that. So I was interested in having that conversation. And the Boondocks was a good way to have that conversation because it's a very great example of, you know, the NWA shirt, not appropriate, but like consuming the Boondocks, you know, sometimes it leaves me feeling like, oh, should I have
South Park, you know, has their two front writers, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They've had episodes that revolve around the N-word and feature white characters saying that word. So, you know, it is kind of like touchy on who can say what, who can do what. But like, if you feel like it's going to land you in hot water, then just don't say it.
Yeah, don't do shit that, and also if you
or raise your hand politely and say, good. I want to learn this.
Have conversations like this. White people in the audience. Ask your friends. Get informed. Talk
and watch Beatbox.
Watch Beatbox. We have the important conversations, and we got tits.
You got tits. I got. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm cute.
Yeah, nice nipples.
Thank you.
Nice nips.
Yeah. Okay. I've been told they taste good when you lick them too.
Oh my God.
All right. So,
so anyway, fucking the next thing on the agenda, P. Diddy. I saw him referred in the article to as Puff. So anymore, it's like, I guess anything goes with him.
I think every 6 months to a year, does his name like just get renewed, or like, you know, he's just been changing names since the 90s. Puff,
he's
Diddy,
just like
Sean
an ever it's like some biblical shit, probably.
Swag, love.
Oh my God. Fucking Snoop Lion. No, like, do you remember that? Like,
yes, I saw Snoop Lion.
Oh, he actually went on tour as Snoop Lion?
Well, when I saw him at Camp Flogna in 2015, he was in his Snoop Lion era.
That man, I like him. Now he's in his ice cream. He's in his Ben and Jerry's era. And
he did something with Ben and Jerry?
Oh. No, he has his own line of fucking ice cream. And
Paisley's here!
What's up, Paisley?
Yeah. Everybody
So
go
yeah,
follow Paisley Hayes if you don't already.
so Diddy is honored with a Global Icon Award on September 12th for the 2023 VMAs on MTV. Shout out to the VMAs because that's like totally like a part of. I remember as a kid, like VMAs, fucking pop your popcorn.
Yeah,
Like,
pop your popcorn, get the Moon
love
Man. The
that
Moon Man
shit.
floats across like woo.
Yeah, really chaotic. There's actually a guy on YouTube, I can't remember, but I follow him. He recaps all the old VMAs, and it's kind of fucking funny. It's really chaotic. But yeah, so he's up for that, and why I kind of wanted to touch on that right after talking about the AI stuff is because on the flip side, I think that a lot of people are seeing like the entertainment industry and stuff is like at high risk. The arts are at high risk of like being monetized by like nameless, faceless AI fucking creepy crawlies. But he just gave all of his artists from Bad Boy the rights to all of their music. And because people were wanting to pay a lot of money for it, and instead of that, he gave it back. So also like Notorious B.I.G.'s estate got all of his stuff, and
yeah.
so
I heard
big
that
stuff.
he sampled Roxanne by the Police, and then like every year he has to pay him like over like millions of dollars.
I didn't know that.
He has to pay Sting like mad money every year.
Fucking Sting. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool though. But also I was just it made me think more about like he's really been in the news a lot. At least like I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, so at least in the gossips. But people have been talking about like grooming allegations with him and things like that. Have you seen anything about that?
I actually have not, but I just know like with money comes power, and then excess leads to access. So it's like,
Right. Well, and
as
it's
unfortunate as that sounds, it's like I'm not surprised. I'm not
well,
confirming anything or pointing any fingers.
50
But
Cent actually was talking about how when he was younger, him and Diddy were at like a party. And I guess 50 like was chilling and Diddy comes up to him and he's like, I want to take you shopping. And like was trying to like get 50 to let him take him to like spend some money on him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And like with like the implication unsaid of like intimacy, and then doing more of a deep dive, I guess that there's a lot of stuff about that.
I mean, if he's on making the band, running people uptown to get him some cheesecake, I mean, imagine what else he'll do.
I love that. Oh my god, sometimes when I think about your name I think of Dylon.
Oh yeah. People call me that all the time. Dylan.
I love when he's like
I spit that fire.
ting.
Who the 5 flyers rappers in the world?
Oh my god. So good. Love Chappelle's show. And then finally, let's talk about the Proud Boys leader getting 22 years for his involvement with the January 6th attack.
Yeah, Enrico Tario. He sounded remorseful once they sentenced him, but maybe it was over a year ago that I watched the documentary Vice did on him and the Proud Boys movement. And as much as I disagree with him, I kind of just like the way he stood 10 toes on what he believed.
Right.
And as much as I disagreed with him, this guy had a backbone. But it's like, you're going to prison.
Yeah. Trump also has
it's like, hey guys, don't be involved with terrorism.
You like both stance?
You like both stance?
I think that either side of things both has points, but I think that anytime that extremism becomes a thing, then it becomes kind of a problem, and it can be a problem on the left and the right.
I agree.
So, it's extremism on the left that is just kind of like the stuff that we were talking about, the excess of like cancel culture, and how it's like more like white people that are like trying to cancel people for like racial stuff and like speaking for people of color, and then people of color are like, shut the fuck up. Like, I see that so much on Twitter.
I mean, I feel like that's because people of color like don't want to exercise the power because I feel like then they're gonna like be scrutinized more.
Yeah. Well, it's more like them speaking for things that they don't have a space in speaking about. So it's kind of like the whole point is like not to do that. But anyway, aside from politics, it's interesting that somebody that has a name that I presume he's like of Latin descent that
Yeah,
would
he's
be like,
Afro-Cuban.
what the fuck is he doing with all of those races? Like,
Well, I highly recommend you watch the documentary on him. Hey, Aaron Ralph. I highly recommend you watch the documentary on the Proud Boys that Vice did, because they explained that like basically Cuba is a conservative country too, and a lot of people from there bring their value who immigrated from there brought their values here. So it was just kind of interesting to see a brown man kind of get thrown into the fire and flames of January 6th too. And hey man, you commit the crime, they still gonna treat you like a nigga. Sorry.
so
Yeah.
yeah, sucks to suck. Good fucking riddance. Don't be a shithead. That's the gist of that.
Just don't be a
Also,
shithead.
rest in peace to both Jimmy Buffett and Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett is just cheeseburger in paradise.
Cheeseburger and Smash Mouth.
Cheeseburger and
Smash your
Steve
mouth
Harwell
with
from
cheeseburgers.
Smash Mouth.
Margaritas.
That dude was cold. Like, he had a swag. He definitely had a swag.
I have so many things to say about him.
Yeah, I didn't know he struggled with alcoholism and then he lost a child who was a baby in 2001. So that'll fuck you up.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I didn't even know he was living in Boise, Idaho. The whole thing,
I had no
his
idea
whole
he
existence
was
was quite random.
Yeah, so he basically I love, again, I think I just talked about the Surreal Life podcast that I watched, the Surreality podcast. But basically, he was on the last season of the Surreal Life back in the day. And so I got to know a bit about him, and he was sober at that point and still actively like making music videos and stuff with like Smash Mouth. But it was very interesting for that perspective, and then to find that like he lost his sobriety because he basically relapsed, the loss of a child, really fucked up stuff. Addiction is such a son of a bitch. My love and my heart always goes out to the addict, because that's some shit that most people could never even begin to comprehend. So it's a loss. I think that he's pretty eternal. I think that people will always know who he is. And they won't remember him from like the bad, which is good. Myself, however, on the other hand, one of my favorite TikToks I've ever stumbled across was one of him very, very intoxicated at a county fair performing, and he's just like all over the place, and he says in the mic, he's fucking just being belligerent. He says, "I'll fucking kill your whole family, I swear to God." I'm like, oh my goodness, fucking so rock star. So
hey, now you're yeah. I mean, I think every time you hear All Star, it's just this nostalgic place in your mind where you feel like a little kid just about to go watch Shrek in theaters.
See, and I'm from the generation where All Star was like on. Well, we're the same generation, but All Star was like on the radio, so it was like prior to Shrek. Like I grew up like listening to that album that was on, and Walking on the Sun. I also equally loved that song, and
yeah. So you knew Smash Mouth more for the band, less for the soundtrack.
Yeah. I actually never really cared for Shrek that much, but I always liked Smash Mouth, and then I fucking love This Real Life, and he's a guy.
Sometimes I feel like I liked Shrek a lot as a kid, so sometimes I feel like, damn, why didn't I get like into Puss in Boots?
Oh, Surreality Podcast is here right now.
Oh, hey. Hey, Erica. Shout out to Surreality Podcast. Everybody give them a follow.
I have an episode with Erica, and we're planning to do some more, so you guys definitely go check her out. She's my favorite pod. I listen to her when I shower. She's in the shower with me almost every time.
Ooh, steamy.
Very, very. She's a blonde bombshell, too. So, yeah, we were just talking about Steve from Smash Mouth.
Right.
So, yeah, rest in peace to both of them. Lightly just touch on hip-hop history today. August 6, 1979, Foxy Brown was born. Foxy Brown, very iconic. If you guys are not familiar with her, femc. She's original femc. And you guys should definitely check her shit out, because she's like pretty fucking good influence. Same time as like Lil Kim and Trina, and like just like the good
of that same
MCs.
era.
Yes. So also NORE, 1976.
Yeah. Hang on, Instagram. I gotta pop out for 1 second. Continue, Foxy. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm just gonna talk while we're waiting for Dylan. So also NORE, August 6th, 1976. Ant is August 6th, 1970. If you're not familiar with Ant, he's part of Atmosphere. And what all does Ant do? It's like so like convoluted by just like Slug's presence that it's just like, okay. And then Slug's birthday, speaking of the devil, is tomorrow, August 7th, 1972. So, I mean, oh my God, I said August. It's fucking September.
Did you just mention my favorite MC?
I wrote down August on everything. It is fucking September. And my birthday is this week.
Yep.
How can I have that wrong?
We just want to give a big shout out to Sean and Anthony. Shout out Atmosphere. Wore my shirt for you guys. One of my favorite rap groups of all time. One of the hugest influence. Shout out to you guys, Minneapolis. We love y'all. Happy birthday. You OGs, and it stands for old geezers. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I think most of those of us that grew up on hip hop, we all love.
I'm not late 30s, Kirk. I am 30.
I'm in my mid 30s this week.
How do you feel about that?
Mid. Feel real mid about that.
Well, can't you just celebrate your journey into milfitude?
I mean, I have a 16-year-old. I think I've been a MILF for a while.
Well, aren't you like, cruising for cougar status now?
I could become a grandma like in the next like 5 years.
Foxy the grandma. That blows my freaking
that's fucking
mind.
Disgusting.
Granny Foxy.
Granny Box. Granny Box.
Walks out with the hair and curlers with the bong in your hand. I got
fucking cane and I just drop it with the cane.
Come help me clip coupons.
Oh my God, Jesus fuck. I'm only 34.
watching fucking reruns of Price is Right and Jeopardy.
I'll do that anyways. I fucking get down on some supermarket sweep on Pluto TV.
Yeah. Grandmas love game shows.
Oh, I have hard candy on top of my refrigerator.
Oh yeah. See, when I would work the talk at Radford, a lot of older ladies would show up and they'd just be passing out candy and shit.
Yeah, I always got a sucky on me. Okay, so should we talk about music finally?
Finally, yeah.
Oh, Aaron Ralph, that little cutie sweetie, called me a gilf.
I've never done this on a live before, but
calisthenics.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
Oh, okay. I was like, you doing some stretch calisthenics. Okay, so let's start with my shit. Again, anything that we talk about every week, unless it's like pretty underground, which Dylan is pretty good about finding shit that's not easily accessible except for on Spotify. Which we need to do a playlist over on Spotify. I need.
Yeah, we can.
That.
We'll do that. And
so I use YouTube a lot. I know I'm an old, but so the playlist.
As Rizzy would say, we're gonna do all the things.
All of the things. So the Beatbox playlist, though, all of this music is on there. Please go check it out. So this week, my album that I chose was Smoke Dizza and Flying Lotus's Flying Objects. I was really, really, really fucking excited to see that on the list today.
That album was incredible.
Yeah, it was such a joy. You guys, please, even if you're not familiar with either person, anybody in this project at all, go fucking listen because you're gonna.
Take a dope ass rapper and a dope ass producer and just put them together, and I didn't even expect that. I really didn't.
It was.
I didn't know they even knew each other or had worked with each other, but I'm like, this makes total sense.
Yeah,
I'm like, I've met Flylo too. I got a picture with him. Then Smoke Dizza, like I've always been, Smoke Dizza's a rapper's rapper. That's one of those guys who, he may not have the big critically acclaimed project or that big chart topping hit, but so many rappers fuck with him and he's just been around for years. And he's more like a behind the scenes dude. That's who I really fuck with, rapper. So
that means you. I fuck with rappers too. Just like
shout out to Smokers Club. Yeah, shout out to Smokers Club. I mean, yeah, what was your favorite song off that EP, Foxy?
Definitely first and foremost, what I really enjoyed was Drug Trade. That was the first one. Black Thought is on that one.
Yeah.
So I was like immediately like, fuck yeah. Like
That was a great
okay.
feature choice.
So all of the songs that I put onto the beatbox playlist have visualizers for this album. So an added layer to fucking awesomeness. The visualizers are really good. The lyricism and flow like made me feel like I was like feeling how it would feel to be like a sweater being knit. It was so just like fucking perfect and like
I don't know how you got there, but
Dylan, because I'm fucking
because I'm fucking high.
Because I fucking did a lot of triple C's and Robitussin when I was a kid, and now I have a very interesting brain.
Interesting brain.
I got cold medicine brain. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, shout out to Legal Trip and Legal. I don't know. I think most people probably shoplifted cold medicine.
Yeah,
Off of it.
man, that smoke. It's almost like Smoke DZA and Flylo like instantly became like my new favorite rapper producer duo.
It was so fucking good. Spiritual was also really good. The visualizers just matched with it was just fucking perfection.
Yes.
And then Painted Houses featuring Conway the Machine.
That was fire.
It was so fire. It felt very like Odd Future.
Yes, that's the thing. It was like, damn, it just provoked a lot of Odd Future nostalgia. Like the only guys missing, I felt like from this project were like Wiz and Domo Genesis.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. Like I was like, damn, and it had like that kind of like soft horrorcore kind of beat too.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking love this.
Yeah, I fucking love this. And see, this project came out when I was in high school. I would have been fucking with it all the same, if not even more.
Oh yeah, it's so good. So that was the three tracks that I really focused on for my review. If you guys haven't put it together, we choose 3 off of each album, and I put the 3 on the fucking playlist. So
I actually just be bullshitting and trying to sound educated about the music.
Yeah, Dylan always says that I'm doing too much. So I'm just kidding.
Dylan's not doing enough.
Yeah, and Dylan ain't doing it. No. The thing
Get me to review your music.
Fuck you, I'm reviewing. No. Hey, if you guys ever want that though, pay Dylan and I'll do it anyway. So
we gotta work something out. We gotta work some beatbox reviews project thing out.
Porn. Let me review your porn.
That's an idea. Yeah.
Beatbox reviews your content. I was like, them titties were tittying hard in that one scene. Them titties were
tittying hard, yeah. We should swirl their tongue around the dick. Do that again.
I really like the artistic interpretation of how you fondled the shaft and the balls at the same time.
Yeah, make sure if she's riding you grab her booty with both hands. There's a lot of ass there, my friend. You want to take advantage of that.
We're never going to get monetized, Dylan.
We're never going to get through this fucking episode.
I know. We're at 48 minutes and we're only like on the first album.
We got the sillies. Instagram, keep it coming. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Hey, and if you haven't liked on either, please show us a like.
Please show us a like. Yeah, leave a like. There's only one like. There's 3 viewers on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, and it went away.
And the words of what they I pissed everybody off. That's the thing.
The hornet's nest has been kicked. Aaron Rouse said that's the thing. Are you talking about the porn reviews?
Maybe he's talking about the like button. Maybe we should move on to our next topic. What's your single this week, Foxy?
Whoa, am I frozen on YouTube?
Try easy. Yeah, you are. It's a black.
At least it's not a horrible picture, but also like it did that because somebody tried to call me.
Okay.
Fuck my life. How do we do this, Dylan?
Do you leave YouTube and come back? Do I hit remove guest?
Okay, I'll be back. Remove me and send me another join real quick.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, gang.
Oh, cool. Then, okay, here, add guest.
This week is gonna have some really funny clips.
Yeah.
Cassie, I'm gonna have to tell Cassie to check this one out. She's gonna love it. Shout out to Cassie.
Shout out to Cassie. Everybody go follow her.
Lovely, wonderful assistant, but also just like soul sister.
And she is a protector.
She is. Okay.
All right,
we back. Almost.
Oh, it's a guest left again. Hello.
Okay. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is my single that I chose this week. So I couldn't choose just one. I had to choose both, and since it's my birthday episode, I fucking did it.
It's your fucking birthday.
Wait, it's funny though, because when I told you that I was doing two, you were like, okay, just try to like reel it in with the extra talk, and we've just been like side chattering the whole time.
Yeah. This has been a banterful episode.
I don't have much to say about either one, so let's fucking go. I was actually super fucking disappointed with both of my singles.
Huggy.
Sorry.
Let me see if I have Let me see if I have more, Huggy.
I need
I'll DM you.
Merch. I should buy some though.
It's about time. We might be able to re-up after the 15th.
Everybody, buy some Thickness Pro merch, because if you rock with us, you should be rocking with us.
Are you down with the thickness?
You wear your hat while we're live. Take your pictures and send them in. Okay, so Bjork, Victimhood is one of the singles that I picked. Holy fucking shit, dude. You guys, it's on the playlist. It's really artistic, really creepy and dark.
Yeah, it was creepy. It was
very Bjork. Oh yeah, you watched it. So it felt like, I don't know if you've ever seen the horror movie Lords of Salem. I don't know if anybody has
haven't, but it sounded like a Little Dragon song playing over the sound of starting up the original Sony PlayStation.
So to me, it sounded like it was sampled off of this song that's in this movie, Lords of Salem. And it's a Rob Zombie movie. And basically it's about witches, obviously, if you didn't get that from the name. And they like have this song, and like the girl actually is like she does like a radio show, and she reviews songs. Holy fuck, I didn't think about that. But she got sent. Oh no, we're cursed, Dylan.
Oh no.
She gets sent this record. And it's like non-titled. It just says like the Lords of Salem on it, and it's got like, like little fucking markings and stuff, and she plays it live on the air, and it's just like this really unnerving kind of like track. And I think maybe Bjork sampled that, but it could just be an unnerving track that my brain was like, Lords of Salem song. But yeah, really fucking weird. Check it out. Tell us what you think, because for Bjork, it was even pretty weird.
Bjork has a lot of collabs. Bjork's kind of like her own genre, isn't she?
She's just Bjork, exactly. That's actually what I wrote, is I said it was very Bjork.
Perhaps.
But the Lords of Salem thing, I'm curious. I need to do some research. And then the other single that I did was the Chemical Brothers, For That Beautiful Feeling. And God, that was such a disappointing track for me. I was expecting something more than what that was. It's also the title of their album. So I would think that as like the title track, that it would have been something to write home about, especially since the Chemical Brothers are so like old, like just real like OGs and that type of music, dance music, EDM, fucking whatever you want to call it, techno, as some people call.
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh. You're like, I don't like techno. Like, what? Okay, fucking grandpa. So the build up to the drop was really hard to get through, but I kept being like, okay, like this is gonna do something. And then it got to the drop, and then it was just like a little bit better, and then it was just nothing further. So it was like it felt like a lot of like anticipation for nothing. So definitely, I would also be interested if anybody listens, let me know what you think about that. Dylan, your album of the week was Airplane Jones, Apology
Airplane
Accepted.
James, Apology Accepted. Shout out to my man,
James.
Airplane James. You can go check out his Palmcast interview from 2022. It's on this YouTube channel. But hey, this album was dope. This EP was dope, things like 8 songs. I think he really came correct, and I feel like he's finally finding his sound. He comes in really strong on the song Three Broken Beards. He kind of has like a Drake flow, almost similar to Drake when Drake raps. I think if I'm not mistaken, fits very much in theme with this episode. That sample that they used on Three Broken Beards sounds like the same sample that was used on Atmosphere song Little Man.
I don't know if I listened to that track. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. But then I'm a sucker for a good sample, and whoever's producing for Airplane James, shout out to them, because 80 Degrees in South Central samples When I Come Around by Dom Kennedy, and that just sounds so LA. It was just very, very much like, a summer in LA song. So then I fucked with Big Dog Status featuring Guap Dad 4000. So I feel like this is the first like Airplane James project I've been able to like fully soak in, or that I'm going to fully soak in, because I actually just saw this morning that it came out.
So I really enjoyed Three Broken Hearts, and 80 Degrees in South Central.
Yeah.
My handwriting is chicken scratch today.
So we kind of feel the same way about the same songs, but I think I like the way LA music, as far as this new stuff is going, because I feel like we're getting back in our player shit, between Six Tape 3 with Blast and Bino, and then Just Landed with Dungeon Music and One Take Ocho, and then now Airplane James. It's like, it's more gravitating to the R&B side and more, for the ladies.
So what I really did notice is very diverse as an artist.
Yes.
He had so many different styles just showcased just within 3 tracks. It felt like 3 completely different styles, but they were all really solid.
Yeah.
My friend that I have here that listened to the music with me, she really liked this one. She was nodding her head and shit, and I was like, fuck yeah. It was kind of fun to have somebody sitting here while I reviewed the music.
Yeah. He can rap, he can sing, he can do melodic trap. He's very diverse.
I really liked, was it Heart on E? Was that the name of one of them, I think?
Yeah.
I love that it sounded like, like what you would hear like when you went out in like 2010, 2011 to like kind of like felt like very like the essence of like T-Pain. Like it was fucking good. So definitely please you guys treat yourself and check out Airplane James. Real good fucking artist.
Right. Shout out to Airplane James. And then my single of the week was, oh damn, what was my single of the week?
Foreign Forest.
Foreign Forest. My mistake.
My mistake.
Well, my mistake, bro. I almost forgot you, but how could I forget?
My mistake. You did that on
one of my
purpose.
favorite palm leaves. Hey, now. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. But yeah, Bakersfield, California, Foreign Forest. This guy I want you to particularly pay attention to, because he's been making killer music for years. I think I first stumbled upon him on SoundCloud in 2017. We did an interview on Palmcast. Don't be yawning on me, girl. We did an interview on Palmcast back then, and we've kept up a great relationship. He's released a lot of really cool music of R&B, of hip hop, of indie, of alternative, of folk, and he's another really, really diverse artist, out of Southern California. So this song, My Mistake, just has this indie groove to it, and I like how his voice doesn't come in until after the I don't read music anymore, so after that first like 8 loop, maybe after the first 16, I don't know, but it's just something smooth to dance to, and it's kind of melancholy like he is. So
it felt very Postal Service, like
almost like some new wave
emo pop punk. But yeah, I really liked it. It will be on YouTube, but he hasn't uploaded it yet. But he has a short on YouTube of it right now, and just the short just makes you want to go listen to the whole track.
And if you check out his TikTok, he's posting motivational messages too, which is great.
Wonderful. So yeah, we definitely rock with Foreign Forest. Great artists. So
excellent artist.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frankie.
And then our mutual album is about the weirdest fucking thing ever. But it's Fat Nick with Hello, I'm Vulnerable. And it is an emo album.
I liked it, but I also didn't like it enough to be like, okay, I got to turn this back on and keep thinking about it. Because it's like, hey, if you want to hear Fat Nick do pop punk, that's the album where he does it. And it's almost kind of sad to say this, but it's like, has Fat Nick had a good album since Generation Numb?
Right. He's had quite a few albums.
Yeah, and Fat Nick doesn't make good out. Shout out to Fat Nick. It's his birthday today, by the way.
Oh,
But
another Virgo.
another
Why are
Virgo.
Virgos
They're
so
taking
superior?
not to everybody except Libras. Okay, but
Yeah. Fat Nick actually. My ex gave me a lot of shit because I like Fat Nick, which is kind of funny. But I've always liked him. I didn't know he lost a bunch of weight. Didn't know
yeah,
that.
he did.
But yeah, so maybe the talent went with that. I don't fucking know.
Oh, you know what? It just felt very studioized. It felt very digital, and as you said before we got rolling, Foxy, it kind of felt like
Gen
a Gen
Z's
Z interpretation of
interpretation.
Blink 182.
Yeah.
I know Blink 182 is a big influence of his, but I was really happy to see Landon Cube and Shakewell on here on the same song. I rock with both those dudes. Fat Nick and Shakewell are in the same
You know,
clique.
I love Shackwell. I love
Yeah.
Shackwell.
So this album had, mostly it was just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like very Warped Tour.
Yeah, it was Warped
giving
Tour.
Warped Tour.
It was giving
youth,
Hot Topic.
It was giving youth group mosh pit.
Yeah, like you walk into the show with a big X on your hand.
Yeah, like I'm straight edge.
Straight edge.
Give me a Mar bread. Yeah, no. I think did straight edge kids even smoke cigarettes? Actually, I don't think straight edge smoke.
There was wasn't there levels to this?
Oh, there's lots of levels. I mean, we could have a whole episode about like house show culture. I used to live in a punk rock collective called the Wildwood Manor, and it was like a venue concert, like DIY punk show venue, and they were all vegan and they did not kill the mice that were in the house, and there were goats and chickens in the backyard, which made it even worse. And they'd just like catch the mice in live traps and just set them in the field next to the house, and they just come back in. But yeah, I lived there for my first semester of college, and they left for the summer, and they like in the morning the goats would just like barge into the fucking house. You would just hear them down in the venue part just fucking clopping around.
That's so random. It just went from a house full of punk rockers to goats in the yard.
It was a punk rock collective. So
Eastern Washington.
Yeah, that was a little Walla Walla, Washington. Shout out to Onions, Prison Wine. I wonder if the prison wine is better in the Walla Walla Penitentiary. I have family that works.
Just a small town girl. Love it.
Yeah. So anyway, our last thing to talk about is
sex worker tip.
Our sex work tip and content creator / podcaster tip. So my sex work tip for this week is about adapting during constant changes. So, people, especially if you go on like Reddit and stuff, and you look like sex worker Reddit, things like that, and you consistently see people like, why is, if you're a cam model, why is my room so slow? Or people like, why is nobody buying? Or people like, where do I get clients from? And things like that. And the faster that you being new into this shit, realize that like there's an ebb and flow with everything, and there's gonna be really good times, and there's gonna be really bad times, and there's gonna be just normal. You have to be willing to adapt and change with the flow of things. There is a reason why sex work is the like world's most steady and oldest profession. Okay, like our existence is sex work has been a consistent. Granted, right now it is struggling at a point that as somebody that's done this my whole adult life, I've never seen stuff struggle the way that it is right now. But this is where the excess weeds itself out. The people that their heart's not in it, they're not going to keep pushing through the hard. But this is when the true professionals, we should all be adapting, you guys. Unionizing with sex workers, figuring out, getting on the same pages and stuff. When you just consistently are jumping platforms, you're kind of doing the whole grass is greener on the other side, and you'll find that every platform has its own stuff. And it's better to just have a presence online as a whole on every fucking platform and just pour into all of them consistently. It goes back to the beginning of the episode with like routine, things like that. Just make it a part of your routine or put it on your list. To like, I want to be on these platforms and get yourself there. Even if you just have just a little bit of content, it's better than nothing because that means that anybody that searches your stage name, which we've talked about, should be consistent through every platform, or sometimes it does get very confusing. Somebody should just be able to fucking Google you.
Yeah.
You can Google me, you can find everything there. It should be that simple, and you should have a presence on every platform.
And to that point, I'm not there yet. And like somebody even let me know in the comments of the Black Sand interview I just released. Everybody go check out. Somebody said they said it was annoying to find this, but they were glad they found it. And it's like, how do I make myself more visible? How do I become, on every platform? And it's like, the powers that be, I lost to Twitter this year. Okay. How do we recover from that? And then it's like, I lost a website this year. How do we recover from that?
See, and that's what I'm talking about, adapting, because myself and my professional flow of how I handle things, if I listen, Dylan, since I've known you, I've lost 2 TikToks, okay? I pour my heart and my fucking whole booty into that shit. And, the first one that I lost, most of the stuff on there wasn't even sex work stuff. It was just, I posted my links and they took it. And the second one they just took down was because I started battling it out with fucking fat shaming trolls because I got a big fat mouth and I'll fucking fight you. And instead of them having my back, they fucking kept them and booted me off of the app. So, but for me, I just consider that my presence is controversial in any way that I'm going. And if I stretch myself and I fucking am pouring something into every platform, my presence is always there and you always bounce back. So you can't think about, oh, I lost this Twitter. Or to me, it always feels like, and no shade, you guys, this is just my personal opinion, but it always feels kind of goofy when people will have in their headline, axed at 200K, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's irrelevant. Just fucking regroup and do it again. Don't live in, it's like with the glory days, like, the high school football player that talks about the big game until he's fucking 70. Just get the fuck over your loss and adapt. It's social media. It is all temporary. The whole internet could be gone. But then do you have anything after that? You know what I mean? So that should be your goal as a professional, is you adapt to change, and you're gonna have days where you want to fucking hide and cry and never look at a fucking tit or a fucking dildo or a fucking man again in your life. And this is
because even as a consumer of
like,
content, after a while, it just becomes like kind of overwhelming just to see like ass, titties, fucking sucking constantly. It's just like, the same effects that like the effects that pornography have on the brain are the same effects
a lot
they have on
of people that get into
drugs.
the assistant, a lot of people that get into like the social media assistant role, like where they're like helping sex workers.
Yeah.
A lot of them will drop within their first couple of months. I personally did it, and I was a sex worker, and it was when I wasn't doing sex work, but I was assisting for a friend. And the shit that I would see on Twitter having to do like the repost groups and stuff like that, I would be like, I don't ever want to fuck again. Like, I am scarred.
Because like on the Thickness Pro account, like that whole page is a porn site, and it's a damn good one too. But
it's tailored to your algorithm.
Hey now, yeah.
It's like the guys that get mad when fat girls are on their feed. Like, buddy, you're the one that's commenting on every fat girl you see.
No. It's not that. It's just overwhelming. And then also, as a non-sex worker amongst sex working content creators, it's like also you can, and you're seeing people have sex with each other, and that makes me feel like left out. But now it's like I'm starting to realize, it's like I still get so much love in the music industry, and it's like from artists that it's like easily, hey, if I don't feel like doing thickness protection program, I could still go straight up into Palm.
Good.
I'm right there with you, Kirk. We love that. We want thickness. Yeah. But yeah, I could still backpedal into music and just be over there.
Right.
So it can mess with your head, but also like I do talk to sex workers when it does fuck with my head, and they'll say, yeah, bro, we're going through the same shit for different reasons, you know?
Yeah. And all that I could say is like if I get on my Twitter, the only sex work stuff that I see, or the only porn that I really see, is people that are talking about stuff. I don't usually see the lewd stuff because I just interact with the stuff that I find interesting. But I'm also not, viciously doing repost groups and everything because I'm not
Yeah,
that invested in numbers. I think the numbers game is
exactly.
a losing game. I would rather have things that I'm interested.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd rather have, a solid body of work. Yeah, I want that million views. Yeah, I want that viral clip. Yeah, I want that, that groundbreaking interview. But also it's like I do think, especially with thickness protection program, this represents a body of work, that
Body
is
of work.
that is hey, that wasn't no pun intended, but you know, if this was a porn site, this would be a very well renowned porn site because you think of the names who have been on there, some of which I've been watching for years, So you think of a safe space where people can conversate and congregate, and that's what this podcast has become.
Do you have like a goal guess, like your crown jewel? Like if you get this guess, then you've made it. I don't know if you're allowed to say stuff like that because we love everybody, but like
I've already crossed paths with some goal guests of mine, and I'd never been starstruck in this business, but when I was at Urban X, and the first person immediately when I got inside the door, immediately that I met and recognized was Sarah J. I kind of realized, you know what? When it comes to this, the world is your oyster, and people in the adult business who are of status are way more approachable than people in the music industry who are of status.
Well, I mean, you gotta have a certain level of like realness too if you're willing to fuck on film.
Yeah,
like,
way because like no,
like,
I'm to the point where it's like could you imagine walking up to who has 300K on IG? Pick an artist who has 300K on IG. You know, you're not walking up to Ice Cube and he's a movie star. But
honestly, he doesn't only have 300K.
No, he got a million. Ice Cube got a couple million probably.
Pep from Salt and Pepper, maybe like
Pep.
I feel like Pep might be approachable.
You're not walking up to KRS-One and he's handing you his phone like, here, get your IG. But Kazumi was cool as fuck like that. Just here goes my phone and add follow. What's your IG? Follow it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is also anybody that has a claim to fame in the industry obviously has to have some type of like a personality and like depth to them other than like their fuck films,
Yeah.
Like, they have to be somebody that's like a people person.
Kirk, you're into. Yeah, I agree. Kirk, you're into bushes.
Kirk's a bush lover.
Oh, you're a bush boy.
Butterfield. Well, butter my bun.
Well, butter. Do you like butter on your muffins?
Would you like your muffin butter?
Do you plan to get butter?
I can't fucking believe that you just quoted Mean Girls.
I love that movie.
Oh yeah, okay. Also favorite.
Well, this is a good segue into not Mean Girls but this is a good segue into our podcaster tip. Yeah. When a guest is controlled by an outside force. Now, this may be they work for a company that no longer wants them to do press. This may be because of a mistake you made that someone they're affiliated with tells them to not repost your content and they've done an interview. This may be because of a record label situation. You are now responsible for promoting the content and tailoring it to fit your audience. So it should be less about pleasing the guest at that point and more about pleasing the audience. And you think, how do I please my audience? I got to still slice it up into bite-sized pieces and then conjunct that with other interviews so you can continue to keep the guests coming back for more and more and more and more.
Right. Plus you don't want to lose like the substance also.
Yeah.
Like
and you don't
the meat.
And also, you don't want to compromise your work for somebody else's choices, lack of communication, or lack of professionalism.
Well, you also have to understand that, like, sometimes a little bit of controversy is good.
Right.
And we've talked about that.
Especially in journalism.
But, like, also like you have to like uphold like, you know, like your morality, but also like you have to go under things with the understanding as like the person that's hosting is that if these people are saying something, like it's on cam, and so anything should be like
Right.
to like put up.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
but
if they get
you'll have
canceled,
people
you'll have
people who are, a little more, you'll just get all types. You'll have people who are a little more like, let me see the questions first. And what I think it was Natalie Kinky, shout out to her, amazing woman. It was her who I dubbed the term no strings Natalie, because she didn't ask any questions about like, well, what are you going to ask? Well, what are you going to do? Or it was just like, showed up, did the interview went great. No questions whatsoever. Yes, like, let's do it. You'll have that, but you will also have people who will run, who I will call a card runner. And what is a card runner? Will run you through a thorough, lengthy list of questions to get you to like find out what your show is all about. And then, from your start time, your end time, your questions, they will screen you. They will do everything to protect themselves, protect their image. You might have some artists, this is more in the music industry. You might have some who, you'll be communicating with a manager, and then the manager will have their agenda of questions. So if they, got a sex scandal or something, they will make sure that's off limits. If you touch that third rail of that, they're walking out of the studio. They're logging off the Zoom. And then you're going to hear from their lawyer about how you can't upload that content now.
Right.
Okay. So,
and that's where things like getting releases that have specifics in them and things like that are really important.
Yeah.
Where it's like anything said on this podcast is like
and that's the next step. That's the next step, and as me, who's been interviewing artists and creatives for the last 10 years, it was an eye opener for me for like one guest to say, I'm willing to do your podcast if you draft a contract. And like, I had never been asked that before. And, I'm thinking, well, I'm so smooth in this because I've been in music journalism for so long, but sex work journalism, which is kind of like this.
It's cutting
edge.
Like,
who else does this? Yeah.
It's cutting edge.
It's
There's
cutting
very
edge,
few people in the game.
Yeah. So there's very few people in the game. And
but also is that you need to be setting a standard too. And so things like you having, things like that is showing like good professionalism.
Yeah, good professionalism.
Setting that standard, and also I think that it just makes everybody feel better. But that's just your Foxy's lawyer down of the week. Lawyer up.
Foxy Box, attorney at Bra.
Oh my God. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a fucking film about that.
Just dress as a sexy lawyer for the next video.
That's easy. I was a sexy property manager for I got the clothes.
Walk in with the blazer on, with the button,
blazer
just
and
like
pasties.
Blazer and
pasties.
pasties.
I'm here to dissect your case.
Let me show you around. It was like intro to a porno scene. Wow.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Episode 15 in the books. Can't fucking believe that. 15.
Consistency is the path to success.
We need to upload them to Spotify and Apple and all the fucking places that don't have to have the picture.
I think, well, we'll talk offline about this, but I want to talk about like what is the goal with Beatbox? Like where does Beatbox take it to the next level?
Hi, my name is Foxy Baux, and I'm pitching to have this on Vice. I think that we deserve a spot on a network like that.
Yeah, loop it in with a larger network.
That's what my dreamer says, is that I want to be with somebody that's about this cutting edge.
Yeah, definitely traveling to definitely traveling to Sexpos like Exotica to do the merch pop up and
Talking
do the meet and greets.
Heads will be the Nardwars of fucking porn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just having a brand within it's at this point it's a brand within a brand.
But
it's like also
a fucking Inception.
It's the grandchild. Is it the grandchild of Palm, or is it like this? It's just it's another brainchild of this media company. So it's its own property, but
it's only up. I mean, the thing is we have steady. Let's see, 7 people at least that are even
Yeah.
accounted for watching us that have watched the whole time, that says something that we can go live every week and we have people that are here.
Yeah.
We have Kirk and we have Matt and we have Thickabell and we have Aaron Ralph
and we have Huggy Does It.
Yeah, we have the people that are
and Woozah Chef.
Yeah. So because of you guys, I think that, you know, this shows that we can do something.
And we just want to take a moment to thank the Palm Tree and the protectors who tune in every week, who stay the whole time, who give us our props after the show in texts and DMs.
Yeah.
And you know, people who share these episodes, who like these videos. And you know, we love you guys, man. We wouldn't have a reason to sit up here every week and do this if it wasn't for people like you watching it.
We're super lucky. Also, we dropped a whole bunch of ecstasy before this episode, apparently.
Speak for yourself. I had a grilled cheese sandwich with some hot dog meat in between.
Oh my god.
I had a good ass struggle meal for this. You know.
Mama June.
Mama June, what?
I actually had some stir fry with some shrimp, but I made a marinade for it because I'm learning how to like
by your friend
again. But I added like way too much vinegar to it, so it tasted like a fucking pickled fucking pea pod, and it was awful. And it like overly fucking like it made the shrimp really firm. It was awful. I'd rather have a Mama June sandwich.
A Mama June sandwich.
Give me one of them hot dog grilled cheese.
A hot dog grilled cheese is a Mama June sandwich. Damn, why? Who's Mama June?
It sounds so... You don't know who fucking Honey Boo Boo's mom?
Oh, shit.
Fucking
cool. It does sound like some PWT shit.
Yeah, no. God damn. Holy fuck. He also shotgunned a Mountain Dew mixed with Red Bull while
bouncing off the walls after that.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming to Beatbox. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do all the things, hit the bell, and peace, love, palm. We want thickness.
Sweet dreams, little babies. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.